What's up, Audio Buffet podcasters? What are you doing? What's up? How's your life? See if I can get my equipment to work. Maybe. Yes. No. But I was sitting here looking at charts, and one of the things I noticed when I was sitting here as SHIB is consolidating, I was thinking about a lot of my friends and family are becoming new investors, and I don't know how to teach people anything because I learned everything by myself. So I try to rewind back to when I first started investing, and I was like, oh, this is something good that I could do for people. I could give them a little bit of easy vocabulary that I had to learn what people were talking about when they started mentioning stuff, and I was like, I don't get some of the terms. And for one, if you say you're a good investor, you're stupid, because you can do basic math. That's kindergarten math, and you can tell up and down. That's that's what a good investor can do. So when I was sitting here, I was like, how do I try to teach my family? How do I try to teach my coworkers and my friends investing? And a lot of it comes down to vocab, like what people call things and what they are. Yes, Tesla vocab. And so I'm going to. I made this backwards, so I had to flip using my front-facing camera, so I had to actually go in there and turn all these words around in Microsoft. But so some basic. So when I say up and down, if you're a good investor, you can read a chart. You obviously want to buy low, sell high, and that's pretty simple to anyone. If you buy an apple for $5, you want to sell an apple for $10, and then you make your profit. You don't want to buy one for $10 and sell it for $5. That would be a bad that would be a bad investor. So anyone that says that they're great at investing can just tell up and down, and they can hold when it's through the hard times, and then you get your profits sooner or later. But these are some basic terms that are just everywhere in the news. They're everywhere. YouTube channels. If you look up investing, and if you just YouTube search what's a good crypto to invest into, you don't know, just basic, you're going to get all these terms, and nobody's going to tell you what they are. So these are some basic ones. So hodling, that is not my dyslexia. It looks like it should be hold, but somebody that holds for a very, 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 very long time, does not let go of their position, is a hodler. So that's one of the ways I invest. I'll buy it. I don't care. For instance, when I first bought Tesla, it was between $40 and $60 a share. I didn't care if it went up or down. I didn't look at the daily value. Sometimes it was down, sometimes it was up. But as time progresses, you find out that inflation, every single business is trying to grow their business. They're liquidating assets. They're firing people. They're trying to save time. They're always every single business is trying to grow their business. So a good hodler would be somebody that can see a business and see the potential long term and know that there's going to be some value there. Because obviously that's what you do. You want to, whenever you buy in, you want it to be worth more later. That's pretty simple. You don't want it to be worth less. So when you look at an investment, you have to see it as something that's valuable to you, not necessarily to anyone else, because somebody's going to tell you that Netflix doesn't have any value, and somebody's going to tell you Hulu's got more value. Everyone's got their own opinion on everything. So that's when it comes down to investing. Just being a good hodler is probably the best possible investor. So Warren Buffett, huge hodler. he's probably one of the mega hodlers of all, the entire planet, because he started buying stocks when he was just a little kid. I wish I started buying stocks when I was a little kid. I wish I bought into Bitcoin in 2014. I wish I would have bought into Sirius Radio. There's so many little companies that were just nothing back then, and they turned out to be a lot bigger now. Nobody would have thought that Netflix would have put Blockbuster out of business, but times change, and that's one thing. When you're looking at the markets and you're looking at business, times are always changing, and you're actually investing in something that is constantly moving, constantly metamorphosizing into something else. One little piece of technology can change an entire market in a heartbeat. And when I try to talk to people about investing, I was like, if I go back to the Wright brothers times and I said, hey guys, if you guys give me just a little bit of money, I'm gonna make a machine that's gonna fly you from one place to another place, and you can have a part of that technology. And if I went to door to people and I started asking for money, people would be like, "You're crazy. You're gonna build a piece of technology that's gonna get me from one point on the map to another point without like train or without horse and buggy. This is nonsense." And for instance, I'm talking about an airplane right now. So like, had you invested in an airplane back then, you wouldn't just have the technology of the airplane itself. You would have a piece of Delta, you'd have a piece of Northwest, you'd have a piece of every single kind of airline that's out there. So that's one thing that I'm saying, like, an investment is not necessarily in a specific thing or an idea, but exponentially can grow into something that's, like, now you can now if somebody was like, "You're going to build a machine that's going to get me from America to Africa," you're out of your mind. And it's not about like, people don't think like that back then. You have to have like a different mindset. I think billionaires have different mindsets. They think not only outside the box, but they think beyond their time. And that's why people push businesses to grow in different directions, is because they have these kind of thinkers. So Elon Musk would be a great example. He's a hero of mine too. So next one, FUD. FUD. This is all backwards. FUD. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. When you're in the market and you go on the news, or let's say this happened like a week or so ago, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Facebook were down for like 4 or 5 hours or 6 hours or something like that. And Facebook's stock tanked $6 billion. People started selling their stocks. I don't know, like, I guess Facebook is broken, it's never coming back, and I'm dumping all my stocks. They lost $6 billion. And that's just not including like the advertisements that are on Facebook while Facebook is doing Facebook. Like, these are people that actually have conviction and faith in their company and their stock, and they're like, well, I guess if they're going they're going down, like they lost $6 billion in like just a matter of 6 hours. And that's exactly what crypto does too. It's based on a lot of hype, it's based on a lot of FUD, it's based on media and internet sentiment. So like, if there's a lot of buzz on Twitter about a specific thing, that thing gets a lot of hype, that it turns into this wave, this perfect storm of feedback and people like pushing. And if you don't understand the internet and you don't understand business, it is all hype. Every single thing you do in business is hype. If you go to Town Square, I tell people, like in New York, all those little advertisements are out there like flashing in your face. They're trying to get you to buy Coca-Cola or buy whatever they're selling, like Virgin Airlines. Like, you see that and it like goes into your mind. Well, cryptocurrencies, all technology does the same thing, and they do it with FUD, and that's what pushes the price down. That's what brings out the bears. That's the selling pressure. People are like, how many times since the 2014 has China said that they're going to ban crypto? Like, at least 12. How many times have they banned miners? At least half a dozen. Like, they constantly do that. They tank the price and then they buy in their own like, they tank the price by like putting out all this bad publicity. And what people don't understand is bad publicity. There's not such thing as a bad publicity. It's bad publicity is still good publicity because everyone's seeing it, and everyone's seeing it. When those charts go up and down, you're not looking at money going in and out. You're looking at psychology. You're looking at people's fear. You're looking at people's like euphoria. Like when there's a really good pump and things are going up, you're looking at euphoria and people like believing in stuff. And then all of a sudden somebody could come out and be like, well, FCC says they're banning crypto. And then all of a sudden the next day, whoo, it goes tanking because it's the psychology of it. And if you can hold on to the psychology and just hear it as white noise and see it on a screen, going up and down, up and down. These are people panic selling and buying in, panic selling. If you can just sit back on the sidelines, you have a really great mindset. You're making a lot of money, and you're actually making a lot of money of people like panicking out and selling and then buying back in. And that's what brings up the next one, FOMO, fear of missing out. So when you start seeing stuff on Dogecoin, this happened back in May. A lot of people think that Dogecoin exploded because Elon Musk was talking about it. He does a little bit of pumping for a lot of cryptocurrencies because he's got a huge following. However, people neglect to know what happened back in May. They had the AMC and GameStop short squeeze, where people on Reddit bets. There was a lot of people going in on AMC saying it was going to tank, GameStop's going to crash because everyone goes to streaming services. Nobody goes buy video games anymore at stores. It's the same thing with the music industry. People don't go buy CDs. People stream their music. So a lot of people were just anticipating GameStop going out. And then what people did as a community, they used Reddit, they used Twitter. They said, "Hey, got everyone together." They noticed that all these options were put onto this GameStop stock, and then they said, if we get everyone in to just buy in as much GameStop as we can, it's impossible to tank. So everyone started buying up GameStop. Everyone started buying up AMC. Everyone started buying up Dogecoin because the exchanges got short squeezed out of their skis, so they had to buy back in to the market for exponentially amount more than they were trying to make money off. So if you know how something works, if you do any day trading, by the way, do never day trade, do never option trade. That is straight up gambling. That is not investing. That is somebody that wants to make a lot of money really fast, and that's not how you invest. So you'll never hear me talk to you about option trading. You'll never hear me talk to you about day trading. I've done it a few times. It's pretty exhilarating, but it's not one of those things that you want to even mess with. It shouldn't even be considered to be. It shouldn't even be constituted as investing, and it actually should be. I would put a regulation on it. I really would, because it's super dangerous and people have lost their money. There was a kid last year in 2020 who was trying to make money from home because of COVID, and yeah, he killed himself because he had $170,000 and he built it up to that, and one of his investments went down and then it was gone, and that's one of the things that when I try to tell people about investing, you don't invest money that you invest money that you can lose. If you can't afford to lose $100, don't invest it. If you can't afford to lose $1 million, don't invest it. If you can't afford to lose $10,000, don't invest it. That's how I feel about investing. And I also feel the same way about holding a stock. When you talk about hodling, if you can't hold a position for 10 years, you don't deserve it for 10 minutes. And that's, people buy it and they're like, oh, when do I get my Lambo? They buy a position and they're like, oh, when is this going to break free? It's not how you invest. You don't buy something and wait for it to invest. You watch and you enjoy the ride, what happens. Last one I'm going to talk about is whales. What's a whale? A whale is somebody that has so much money that they can influence the market, not just with tweets and stuff like that. Would be a whale move. Elon Musk tweeting about his Dogecoin, him tweeting about his Shiba Inu, that's him tweeting about anything that he wants to tweet about, and it affects the market. A whale is somebody not like you, not like me, not somebody that can dump $35 million into a stock and don't care if you win or if it goes up or down. That's a whale. Institutions are whales. Banks are whales. So when I start talking about when they start talking about whale money, you could have three of your most billionaire friends all decide to buy a certain stock, and it just pushes it up, and then they all sell out, and people start buying into it because they start seeing it shoot up, and then they just pull their positions out of there and they rug pull you guys. So there's a lot of fun things that happen in investing, and there's a lot of negative things that happen in investing, especially in crypto. I want to advise to you guys, there's a lot of scams. Don't ever give away your email. Don't ever give away your key codes. Don't ever give away your Ethereum accounts. Don't give away anything that when somebody says they're going to give you something for free, or give me 10 million and I'll trade it. I'll turn it into 20 million for you overnight. Those are, people actually do that, and people they will steal from anybody. They'll steal from their mom. They'll steal from an old person. They'll steal from a kid off the street. These people are ruthless. These are the same people are that try to scam you. You get a call from the IRS. The IRS doesn't ever call you and threaten you with legal action. They send you letters. They don't say, hey, you got a call and you got to meet. We're threatening lawsuit. There's going to be police at your door. I've gotten phone calls like that. I'm like, this is one of the most craziest phone calls I've ever gotten. But scams happen out there, and you got to protect your assets. So one way of doing that is putting it in a cold wallet. Don't keep it on an exchange. Like for instance, Robinhood's going through some shit right now, and I liquidated my Robinhood, and it doesn't mean that they're going to go out. And if you want to bank with Robinhood and you want to use their exchange, it's fine. But it's not one of those things that it's like absolutely safe. One of the things that did happen during that AMC and GameStop short squeeze back in May was they locked people out of their accounts, so you couldn't buy or sell because people figured out what was happening when they went online and they told everyone to start buying it because 3 billionaires decided to bet against it. And that's what community does. That's why I love crypto. It's about community. And there's so many great projects out there, and there's so many great communities backing each other up. People show up. They show up on Twitter, and when you have 1 million people, that's a lot of people that are just going to be, fighting for you. That's a good fight. Like 3 billionaires versus 1 million peasants. I mean, who's going to win that fight? And it was kind of funny because if you watch it. It happened to me, but you can go on YouTube and say a billionaire cries on CNN or billionaire cries on TV. He lost $20 billion in a day, and I thought it was the fucking funniest thing that ever happened watching him cry because he's been like liquidating his families. He's been like taking his jobs and like firing people just to make an extra $50,000 or whatever, and seeing lose $20 billion in a day was a win for the community, and it was a win for the little guy, and that's what crypto's about, you guys. It's about the underdog, and it's about coming up and rising up. We're taking on the banks, we're taking on the institutions, and the great thing about it is there's nothing that's going to stop them. They can slow it down, but they can't stop it. And so with that said, maybe I'll have some more vocab for you. But basically, when I want to talk about investing, it is nothing serious. It is so simple, you guys. It is kindergarten math and up and down. So and they'll use different words for up. They'll be like inflate, bullish. We're going long. We're gonna appreciate. We're gonna inflate. We're gonna push. They have buying pressure. They have all these names just for going up. And then same thing with down. They have deflate, drop, selling pressure, bears, depreciate. They all say the same stuff, but it's like up and down. That's all it is. And that does reflect some money, and it does reflect mostly psychology. And that's why, I mean, if you watch Bitcoin right now, their all-time high, that's a psychological, that all-time high is a psychological, everyone's working together to get it up there. But as soon as it gets up there, people sell off because it's psychological. People think it's going to panic and crash. But it's great to watch, and it's fun to be on the sidelines of a trillion and trillion dollar market that is just going to be growing and booming. And it's very exciting for me, and I know if it's exciting for you guys, and it might be really boring. I could sit here and watch charts all day long, and I do 100 hours a week staring at these things. So if you guys have any questions, put them in the comments. You guys can contact me pretty much anywhere. I'm on pretty much every. Maybe I should put all my links down in the description, like my Instagram, my not my YouTube channel, but my Facebook and stuff like that. If you guys want actually more of me, if you would like more of my time, or you would like more information, I just want people to be informed when they go to be a good investor. And being a good investor is a lot of information. And having me on your side, I'm a great resource because one, I'm free, and that's probably the best thing. And I'm never gonna push you in the wrong direction. I will tell you when I see something that warrant what I'm worried about. I will let you know when I see something that's great and it's going in a good direction too. So you're not just gonna get the good side; you're gonna get the bad. But that comes with investing too. So I want you guys to have a wonderful. Let's see, I have a day off, so. Good weekend. I'm going to be smoking either bacon wrapped venison. Thank you, Mitch, for donating that to my family, and I'm going to eat it up. Or I'm going to do some sort of pork belly, which sounds really good too. And here's another update. I had a physical today, and it looks like I'm healthy as a fucking horse. I'm just gonna. I had them check my cholesterol because I'm 40, and I think people should check their cholesterol at 40. So you guys have a good one. This was only supposed to be like a 7-minute video, but whatever. Shit happens. Peace.